Imagine standing on the edge of your old life, shedding everything that no longer serves you, your fears, your limitations, your doubts. Then, in a single conscious moment, stepping into a version of yourself that is untethered, free, and fully alive. This is not a metaphor. This is the process of being reborn while still walking on this earth. Being reborn is not about changing your external circumstances. It is about mastering the spiritual mechanics that govern the very essence of your existence. It is about rewiring your inner reality until your life mirrors the clarity, power, and purpose you have always sought. In this journey, you are both the scientist and the alchemist. You are the observer and the creator. And understanding the mechanics is the first step to experiencing life in a way that feels like starting anew. Section 1. Understanding the old self. Before rebirth can occur, the old self must be fully understood. Your old self is not merely who you are today. It is a structure built over years, shaped by habits, conditioning, and unconscious programming. 1. The layers of the old self. Every belief, emotion, and thought pattern is a layer. These layers form a cage around your potential. You cannot access rebirth without acknowledging the weight of each layer. Mental layers. The habitual thoughts, self-doubt, limiting beliefs. Emotional layers. Resentments, suppressed grief, anxiety, unresolved attachments. Energetic layers. The subtle energies that tether you to old frequencies of fear, stagnation, or self-sabotage. 2. The mirror of awareness. Awareness is the lens through which the old self is exposed. By observing yourself without judgment, you begin to understand the mechanics of your old reality. Every reaction, every thought, every habitual pattern becomes a window into the structures that must be released. 3. The weight of resistance. The old self resists transformation because it defines your current identity. To be reborn, you must face resistance not as an enemy, but as a signal. This is the threshold of transformation. Section 2. The mechanics of rebirth. Rebirth while alive is an intricate process of inner alchemy. It operates on multiple levels: mental, emotional, energetic, and spiritual. The mechanics can be understood as a series of principles, each designed to dissolve the old and cultivate the new. 1. The principle of dissolution. Rebirth begins with dissolution, the conscious dismantling of the old self. This is not destruction in a violent sense, but a deliberate process of letting go. Identify thought patterns that no longer serve you. Release attachments to external validation and outcomes. Let go of identities you cling to out of fear. 2. Dissolution is the purification stage. Without it, the new self has no foundation. 3. The principle of alignment. Once dissolution begins, alignment becomes the next step. Alignment is the calibration of your inner world to a higher frequency of being. Align your thoughts with truth rather than fear. Align your emotions with acceptance rather than resistance. Align your energy with presence rather than distraction. 4. When alignment occurs, the inner structure of your reality begins to vibrate at a new frequency. This is the essence of rebirth, the birth of a new energetic blueprint. 5. The principle of conscious choice. Rebirth is not passive, it requires choice. Every moment, every action, every intention must be consciously directed toward the creation of the new self. This is where true freedom arises, when you move not from reaction, but from deliberate creation. 6. The principle of integration. The new self must integrate fully into daily life. This is often the most subtle yet challenging step. Integration is not just about thought or feeling, it is about embodying the transformation. Walk as the new self in your actions, speak as the new self in your words, respond as the new self in your relationships. 7. Without integration, rebirth remains theoretical. True transformation requires living it moment by moment. Section 3. Tools for spiritual rebirth. Understanding the mechanics is crucial, but applying them requires deliberate tools. These tools act as catalysts, accelerating the process of rebirth. 1. Meditative observation. Silence the mind and observe your inner landscape. Witness the old self without attachment. Meditation is the laboratory of rebirth. It allows you to see the patterns, dissolve resistance, and realign your energy. 2. Conscious breath. Breath is more than oxygen. It is a bridge between the body, mind, and spirit. Deep, conscious breathing releases stagnant energy, dissolves emotional blockages, and primes the nervous system for transformation. 3. Intentional visualization. See yourself fully reborn. Envision the new self in vivid detail, how they move, speak, think, and feel. The mind does not distinguish between what is vividly imagined and what is real, making visualization a powerful tool to restructure inner reality. 4. Energy management. The reborn self operates at higher frequencies. Protect and cultivate your energy. Release toxic interactions and environments. Engage in practices that expand vitality. Movement, stillness, creative expression. Harness your energy to fuel your intentions. 5. Rituals of release and acceptance. Rituals mark the threshold between the old and new. These can be simple yet profound. Writing down old fears and burning the paper as a symbolic act of release. Walking in nature to embody the rhythm of life and renewal. Daily affirmations that solidify the new identity. Section 4. The role of conscious suffering. Paradoxically, suffering is a doorway to rebirth. Not all suffering is necessary, but conscious suffering, when approached with awareness, catalyzes transformation. Pain as a mirror. Each pain reflects a point of resistance in your inner mechanics. By confronting it, you dissolve blocks that keep the old self intact. Surrender versus avoidance. True rebirth arises from surrendering to the process, not avoiding discomfort. Avoidance reinforces the old self. Surrender strengthens the new. The alchemy of acceptance. Acceptance is not resignation. It is mastery over the narrative of suffering. It transforms pain into insight, despair into clarity, and stagnation into motion. Section 5. Living as the reborn self. Rebirth is not a moment, it is a continuous practice. Once the mechanics are internalized, life itself becomes a mirror of the transformation. 1. The practice of presence. Presence is the state in which the old self can't survive. The reborn self lives fully in the now, untangled from past regrets and future anxieties. 2. Authenticity is power. Every act becomes a reflection of your true nature. You no longer conform to societal expectations or old narratives. Your power emerges from authenticity, the alignment of your inner truth with your outer expression. 3. Fluidity and adaptation. Rebirth is not static. Life is a river, and the reborn self flows with it. Resistance to change is left behind, replaced by adaptability and creativity. 4. Transcending fear. Fear thrives in the old structures. The reborn self meets fear as a teacher rather than an adversary. Every challenge becomes an opportunity to reinforce the new identity. Section 6. Beyond individual rebirth. Once reborn, the individual becomes a conduit for transformation beyond the self. The reborn state radiates, influencing environments, relationships, and collective consciousness. Energetic resonance. Your transformation shifts the frequency of those around you, inspiring change without intention. Collective awakening. As more individuals embody rebirth, the potential for widespread spiritual evolution grows. Infinite rebirth. Rebirth is not a singular event, it is a recurring cycle. Each iteration peeling away deeper layers of limitation, expanding consciousness, and refining the essence of being. Section 7. Practical daily framework. To operationalize rebirth, integrate these steps into daily practice. 1. Morning alignment. Begin each day with meditation, visualization, or journaling focused on your reborn self. 2. Intentional action approach. each task as an act of creation, embodying the principles of the reborn self. 3. Energetic check-ins. Midday reflection. Notice emotional or mental resistance and consciously release it. 4th evening integration. Review the day through the lens of your new self. Celebrate alignment, note areas for growth, and perform a small ritual of release. Consistency transforms mechanics into a living, breathing reality. Section 8. The ultimate truth of rebirth. At its core, rebirth is the realization that life is not something that happens to you. It is something you participate in consciously. The spiritual mechanics are not abstract. They are the tools that awaken your latent potential. Rebirth is freedom from identity. Rebirth is mastery over inner forces. Rebirth is infinite creation. To be reborn while alive is to step into a life that is no longer predetermined by old patterns, fears, or limitations. It is to stand at the threshold of infinite potential, fully awake, fully conscious, fully alive. The journey of rebirth is not about escaping life. It is about embracing it with unmatched clarity and power. Every moment offers a choice: to remain bound by the old self, or to step into the mechanics of transformation and become the architect of a life reborn. Your rebirth is not a distant possibility. It is a present reality waiting for your conscious recognition. The mechanics are clear, the tools are in your hands, and the threshold is before you. Step through. Be reborn.